Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our June 11th, 2024 Madison County Fiscal Court meeting. This is a regular scheduled meeting here at 304 Chestnut Street in Berea. Again, always thankful of Berea Mayor and Berea Council for allowing us to use their space to hold our fiscal court meeting. This time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Combs.
Here.
Master Lockmuller.
Here.
Master Hughes.
Here.
Master Botkin.
Present.
Judge Taylor.
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite my friend and pastor of Pilot Nile Baptist Church, Randy Calico, up to the podium and lead us in a word of prayer. Appreciate you being here.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Let us pray. Father God, we come before you this morning, Father, just thankful for who you are. Thank you, God, for your holiness and for your righteousness. Father, thank you that Father, we can come together, Father, to be in one mind and one accord. And I pray that you would help us, Father, even in this meeting, that Father, that you would guide the leaders. That Father, we know that you are the God of all wisdom, and so Father, we can come to you for wisdom. Father, I pray that you give a discernment and wisdom even during this meeting, that we seek after you. Father, thank you for just the ability to be here. Father, thank you for the freedom of this country that we live in, that Father, that we can seek to govern, and Father, may we do it in a way that glorifies you. Father, we thank you for just the opportunities that you give us in this country. Father, I thank you for each and every one who is here, Father, with minds to lead, and also, Father, to be able to share ideas and thoughts, Father. And I pray that you just help us to come before you, Father, even with humility of hearts, and Father, clarity of mind. Father, may we speak in ways that glorify you, and Father, that we be able to better this county, this area, Father, and Father, that you're glorified in all of it. We thank you for who you are, and we thank you most of all for your Son, Jesus, in whose name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thanks, Randy. Sheriff, if you will.
Everyone would please stand and face their flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Sheriff. Members of the court, y'all have had a chance to look over the previous meeting minutes. That was our May the 28th, 2024 regular scheduled fiscal court meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve, please.
Motion approved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmuller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next, I just want to, this is really just more for the minutes, Kenny, than anything. I don't think we need to vote on these minutes of our public hearing that we had, but based on KRS for County Road Aid and for our LGA, which is our Local Government Economic Assistance Fund, we just have to have a public hearing to the community, which we had that last Friday. Where's Robin? Yeah, we had it last Friday. So just for the record, we did hold that, and just for the minutes. It's not a fiscal court meeting, it's just a public hearing. Thank you. All right, Treasurer's report will be at the next fiscal court meeting. We always have that on our fourth Tuesday meeting of each month. Next is, or first order of business today is a proclamation recognizing National Flag Day and National Flag Week. And we always have my friend Deborah Parsons here. And Deborah, if you want to make your way up to the mic, and I'll read the proclamation and then let you say a few words, and then we'll take a picture. How's that? This is a proclamation recognizing Flag Day and Week, whereas the Second Continental Congress adopted the American flag on June 14th, 1777. And whereas June 14th, 2024 marks 247 years of displaying our American flag. And whereas it is fitting and proper to officially recognize Old Glory as a symbol of hope, inspiration, and pride for the people of the United States and around the world. And whereas in order to commemorate the adoption of our flag on August 3rd, 1949, the Congress, by joint resolution, designated June 14th of each year as Flag Day, and requested that the President issue an annual proclamation designating the week in which June 14th occurs as National Flag Week, and call upon citizens of the United States to display the flag during that week. And whereas the Jemima Boone Chapter National Society Daughters of the American Revolution is hereby recognized for its ongoing efforts to honor and support National Flag Day and Week. And now, therefore, I, Reagan Taylor, Madison County Judge Executive in the Madison County Fiscal Court, do hereby proclaim the week of June 9th through the 15th, 2024, as National Flag Week in Madison County, Kentucky, and urge our citizens to reaffirm the ideals of our county by displaying our American flag at their homes and throughout the country. Deborah?
Thank you, Reagan. Part of the bulwark of our organization is preserving our history. I would like to thank you, gentlemen, for always supporting our efforts, not only in Flag Day, but also for Constitution Day.
Yeah.
And the reason is, this year, we went to Clark Morris Middle School. We gave out over 600 constitutions, and Kenny brought his voting machine, and the kids found out what it meant to be a prisoner as they dressed up in orange jumpsuits and handcuffs. We had someone who explained, he was retired sheriff, explained what it meant to follow the law and our responsibilities. I gave a talk on the Bill of Rights. Would you believe a sixth grader would not have any idea what the Bill of Rights was? So we did not in any way teach them everything, but they had their eyes opened. And I appreciate so much your supporting of our efforts to make the young generation become the ones who carry the load when we aren't around to do it. If we don't know the Constitution, if we don't appreciate our flag, we don't have much hope. And to the gentlemen who have fought for us, thank you very much, because we wouldn't be here without your shoulders to stand on.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Real good seeing you.
Good to see you, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good stuff, Fair. All right. Next on our agenda is the second reading of ordinance 2024-04. This is the administrative code for 2024-2025. Ryan?
Madison County Fiscal Court, Madison County, Kentucky, ordinance 2024-04, an ordinance to adopt the 2024-2025 administrative code. This ordinance supersedes ordinance 2023-04, whereas the Madison County Judge Executive and the Fiscal Court recognize that a personnel system which recruits and retains qualified motivated workforce is indispensable to the effective and efficient operation of the county government, and to whereas it is essential to have policies and procedures in writing delineating all aspects of employment affected by said policies and procedures. Now therefore it be ordained by the Madison County Judge Executive and the Madison County Fiscal Court of the Commonwealth of Kentucky that the policies and procedures attached hereto shall be the system of personnel administration for the county, that the policies and procedures may be waived, altered, or suspended only by a change of ordinance. This ordinance shall become effective on the date of the second reading and adoption.
Motion to approve ordinance 2024-04, Judge. Second.
Have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Any discussion from any of the court members? All right, this is the second reading, which is a public hearing. Is there anybody here today to speak on behalf of ordinance 2024-04, our administrative code for the next fiscal year, 24-25 fiscal year? All right, seeing none and hearing no more comment, call the roll.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmiller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thank you all. Next is second reading of ordinance 2024-05. This is our drug and alcohol-free workplace policy for our 24-25 fiscal year. Ryan.
Madison County Fiscal Court, Madison County, Kentucky, ordinance 2024-05, an ordinance to adopt the 2024-2025 drug and alcohol-free workplace policy. This ordinance supersedes ordinance 2023-05, whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has established a drug and alcohol-free workplace policy, including but not limited to supervisors, full-time employees, part-time employees, off-site employees, contractors, and applicants who are representing or conducting business for the county. And whereas the Madison County Drug and Alcohol-Free Workplace Policy is updated annually. And now therefore it be ordained by the Madison County Judge Executive and the Madison County Fiscal Court of the Commonwealth of Kentucky does hereby approve the 2024-2025 Drug and Alcohol Workplace Policy. This ordinance shall become effective on the date of the second reading and adoption.
All right, members of the court, you've heard ordinance 2024-05. This is the second reading. What's the pleasure of the court, please?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
There are some things, Judge, looking forward that we'll have to change in this next year with the medical cannabis coming along. So
We're gonna learn about that soon.
keep the thoughts of that.
Yep. I'd say there's probably gonna be, we've got a conference
Yep.
this
We're
week.
getting an update tomorrow.
Yeah, so. Yep. Any other comments, questions from members of the court? Again, this is also a second reading of ordinance 2024-05, which allows for public comment. Anybody here to speak on behalf of ordinance 2024-05? Seeing none and hearing no more comment, call the roll.
Master Lockmiller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes, thank you. Next is second reading of ordinance 2024-06. This is a code of ethics for our 2024-2025 fiscal year. Ryan?
Madison County Fiscal Court, Madison County, Kentucky, ordinance 2024-06, an ordinance to adopt the 2024-2025 Code of Ethics. This ordinance supersedes ordinance 2023-06, whereas the proper operation of demographic government requires that a public office be independent and impartial, that government policy and decisions be made through the established process of government, that a public official not use public office to obtain private benefit, and that the public have confidence in the integrity of its government and public officials. And whereas the public judges its government by the way public officials and employees conduct themselves in the post of which they are elected or appointed, and public confidence and respect for the government can be best promoted if every public official and employee, whether paid or unpaid, and whether elected or appointed, will uniformly treat all citizens with courtesy, impartiality, fairness, and equality under the law, and avoid both actual and potential conflicts between their private self-interest and public interest. And whereas the officials of this county are committed to the operations of county government that manifests the highest moral and ethical standards amongst its officers and employees. And whereas the Madison County Code of Ethics is updated annually. Now therefore it be ordained by the Madison County Judge Executive and the Madison County Fiscal Court of the Commonwealth of Kentucky does hereby approve the 2024-2025 Code of Ethics. This ordinance shall be effective on the date of the second reading and adoption.
Thank you, Ryan. Members of the court, you've heard second reading of ordinance 2024-06. What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-06, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just want to thank those that serve on our ethics board for their participation and what they do. I know they just meet once a year, and we're glad that they just meet once a year.
That's all we hope they meet.
To adopt
That's
this
right.
policy, but we do appreciate their willingness to serve in this capacity.
Yep. All right, again, this is a second reading of ordinance 2024-06, so it allows for public comment. Anybody here today that needs to speak on behalf of ordinance 2024-06? Seeing none, hearing no further comment from fiscal court members, call the roll.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
Mr. Bucket.
Yes.
Mr. Combs.
Yes.
Mr. Lockmiller.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Next, second reading of ordinance 2024-07. This is the joint local government 911 fee amendment. Jill, good morning.
Good morning. This is an ordinance relating to the funding of enhanced 911 emergency communications center operations for the city of Berea, the city of Richmond, and throughout Madison County, Kentucky, and repealing ordinance 07-11. Whereas in 2008, Madison County implemented a joint safety answering service to provide a single telephone number for emergency services, creating a joint 911 center for the city of Berea and Madison County. And whereas in 2010, the city of Richmond joined the joint 911 emergency communications center. Whereas at the time of its establishment, Madison County, the city of Berea, and the city of Richmond provided for the funding of this vital service through a monthly fee levied on each landline telephone subscriber in Madison County, which was collected through telephone service providers and which was authorized by ordinance 07-11. And whereas at the time of the 911 service and fee were established, most households communicated through landline telephones, as there were fewer cellular telephones in existence. And whereas the percentage of households in Madison County having a landline telephone has decreased in favor of cellular telephone usage. And whereas the fee levied on landline telephone service is no longer sufficient to fund, maintain, and operate E911 service as the Madison County Emergency Communications Center. And whereas Madison County is a political subdivision of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and pursuant on KRS 67.083 has the authority to provide and finance various governmental services within a broad functional areas specified in the statute. And whereas the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the Madison County Emergency Communications Center is an essential public safety service used by residents of the city of Berea, city of Richmond, and Madison County, as well as workers, travelers, while situated in this county. And whereas it is essential to the health and safety and welfare of the residents of Madison County that quality 911 emergency services be provided by the Madison County Emergency Communications Center. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court previously authorized a 911 service fee apportioning the required annual operational appropriation for 911 services on landline phones, but this ordinance sets the 911 fee among 5 classifications of real property based on the analysis of percentage of 911 calls for service made to the Madison County Emergency Communications Center during the previous year. Those categories are single-family farm dwellings, multifamily dwellings, business properties, industrial properties, and public use properties. Whereas the financial burden of funding 911 Emergency Communications Center dispatch services can be most equitably distributed among the citizens of Madison County by undertaking an analysis of the volume of calls for services being provided to various classifications of real property from the prior calendar year for properties that are situated within the county, as determined by the current zoning classification applicable to each parcel, and then by allocating the annual funding requirements of the 911 Emergency Communications Center above and beyond any other collateral funding sources that referred to as unfunded budget, as determined as of January 1st each year, as determined from the records of the Madison County PVA office and the Madison County Emergency Communications Center. Whereas the procedure above outlined yields a percentage of total 911 emergency center dispatch services provided to each classification. The percentage of total 911 calls for each classification shall then be multiplied by the total unfunded budget amount to calculate the actual dollar amount needed per classification. Whereas the rate applicable to each property shall be determined by dividing the actual dollar amount needed for each classification by the total square footage within that classification, which yields the rate per square foot within that classification. A 911 service fee shall be assessed as an annual fee imposed upon each parcel of real property located within the county by applying the rate applicable to said parcel multiplied by the total improved square footage of each parcel. Whereas in lieu of payment based on square footage and in light of lower call volumes attributable to uninhabited actual property, owners of unimproved single-family farm parcels shall pay a minimum flat fee for each unimproved parcel of real property vacant land essentially, in the amount of $25. And whereas in lieu of payment based on square footage, the same would be applied is a minimum of $47 for unimproved, exempt, or business parcels. And whereas in lieu of payment based on square footage, public educational institutions within the county, including the Madison County Board of Education, Berea Community Schools, Berea College, and Eastern Kentucky University, will pay fees based on their percentage of total cost to the public institutions multiplied by the total budget in lieu of payment based on square footage. Whereas in no event shall the fee associated with the single-family dwelling or farm dwelling be less than $25, and in no event shall the fee associated with exempt properties, business property, or industrial property be less than $47. Whew. Whereas
You need a drink of water?
Whereas the fee shall be used for the delivery of enhanced 911 emergency telephone services as provided for in KRS 65.760 and the associated maintenance of systems and devices, including but not limited to the operating costs of Madison County Communications Center, E911 equipment, communications infrastructure, including expenditures to train communications personnel and to inform the public of availability and proper use of 911 services. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court hereby creates a 911 Service Appeals Board, and whereas the county attorney and fiscal court clerk shall be non-voting members whose presence shall not be counted towards a quorum for purposes of conducting the business of the appeals board, but required in the appeals process. And whereas a property owner may appeal the classification of square footage of their property as follows. This gives an appeal opportunity for the adjacent property, the online form which is available, or if someone is suggesting that their square footage that's currently calculated by the PVA office is incorrect. Now therefore be it ordained by the Madison County Fiscal Court of the County of Madison and the Commonwealth of Kentucky that pursuant on KRS 65.760, which authorizes the funding of 911 emergency services through the establishment of a special fee in collaboration with the City of Berea and the City of Richmond, that an annual E911 fee shall be assessed against each property type in the territorial limits of Madison County, as determined from the records of the Madison County PVA office and Madison County E911, as calculated above. This goes through each classification type. The Emergency Communications Center call data will be reviewed annually. The applicable rate for each property should not be adjusted, so as long as the percentage of calls attributable to any particular classification does not vary more than 2% from applicable percentages in the prior year as applied to the unfunded budget. The county is hereby authorized to enter into the appropriate interlocal agreements with the City of Berea and the City of Richmond as is necessary to carry out the intent and purpose of this ordinance. The provisions of this ordinance are severable if any portion of this ordinance or the application thereof is for any reason found to be unconstitutional or invalid. Such shall not affect or repeal any of the remaining provisions of this ordinance or the provisions of previous ordinances. Effective January 1, 2026, this ordinance repeals that portion of Ordinance 07-11 which established the landline telephone subscriber fee. The termination of the landline telephone subscriber fee shall be effective January 1, 2026. And this ordinance shall become effective on the date of the second reading and adoption.
Take a breath. Thank you, Jill. Appreciate it. Members of the court, y'all have heard ordinance 2024-07. I need a motion and a second to approve, please.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
What is the current landline fee?
It is $3.50 per month, with a maximum of 25 lines per
Phone number.
phone number.
$42 a year.
So $42 a year. And I think for, if I'm not mistaken, for a 2,000 square foot house, which is the average in Madison County, this will be $32, which, well, you're smart people.
I venture to say I'm the only one here that's paying a landline fee right now.
Amy is, she told us last time.
Oh,
Miss Parsons.
Parsons did.
Thank you.
Jill, wasn't there an agreement years ago between the cities and the county on 911?
Yes, this actually dates back to the first resolution and ordinance was passed in 1989, and the second, and Brooke may have to help me, was in 1990 that actually established the landline fee. At that time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was 87 cents. I think the first one was 87 cents. I'm looking at Chris because I know he's looked at this too. Was 87 cents, and then in 2008 is when it was established at the current rate. And so there's no record of it having been changed since 2008.
But we've been the beneficiary of the CSEP program in helping fund things for the Madison County, inclusive of the cities as well as universities and other entities within the county itself. We've had that benefit, and now it's so supposedly going away. So now it's time to get back to reality and fund emergency services the way we need to fund them.
And I'm going to say too, Steve, to that point that, and I don't know exactly what the 911 budget was in 2008, but I would say that the landline fees were probably more keeping in line with the budget. But since we've been here, our landline fees have gone away, and so the three governments, Berea, Richmond, and the county, have been subsidizing the 911 budget every year. We've been having to give more. I think this year we gave combined maybe a little over $1 million, I think, is what our contribution.
I think it was about 300.
With all of us combined. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd like to just take a second, Judge, to just thank everybody that was involved in this. It started with a task force. I don't remember all the members of the task force, but they did a lot of good work on that and brought a format to us that got things started, even though I guess all the magistrates at the fiscal court, we didn't agree with everything in it and had it revised. And Chris, we thank you for everything that you did on that and your work on that, and Jill, you all as well. But I need to thank the city of Berea. They're back to us. Their city council, they're behind us on this. The city of Richmond, their council, they've agreed to support us on this, on the fee structure and the things the way it are right now. And it's a good document. It's come a long way from the original document. Seems fair to me for everybody.
Yeah.
And Tom, so those members representing the city of Richmond was Chief Rodney Richardson, and Rob Meinrich. Representing the city of Berea was City Administrator Rose Beverly and Chief Sean Sandlin. Representing the county was Chief Tim Gray and Chris Israel, and then also Wendy Lynch, who is the 911 director. And I always call her the subject matter expert because she knows more. She has forgotten more about 911 than the rest of us will ever know.
Yeah, that's right.
And Brian Mileniich, and who was the facilitator for that task force. So that's who came together to make that happen.
It's good group. Thank you.
It was a good group.
Some folks that say, well, we sure do seem like we're moving mighty fast on this. If we was going to do it, we should have started a long time ago. And maybe that's true. But the fact of the matter is, here's where we are, so we got to do something right now. And yeah, we are moving fast, but it's out of necessity. So there it is.
Well, I would say too, and I've had Billy Ray, I've had a lot of people make that comment as well. But 4 years ago, we didn't need the fee, right?
Yeah.
Because we still had the CSEP program.
Right.
It's funded a lot of stuff for us. So, I look at it as a blessing, and so that we've had what we've had for so many years.
Well, I think one thing too, though, that pushing this out a year gives the opportunity, which this has an appeal process, to go through that process. And if we don't, pass it now and have that process, then we're, nobody has an opportunity to look at what they've got, to examine what the fee is to them personally, and to know how to go about, appealing that process or planning for it. So I think it's necessary now to do it, and I'm thankful that we all agreed to push it out a year, to give people time to plan and to look at the process, and I'm sure there's going to be opportunities to tweak it and look at it. But until we get the process started, we can't do that.
Judge, it's encouraging too to see people work together like we have on this project and come out with a solution that's fair to everybody, and so I hope there's more of that in the future, of people working together for the benefits of all the people of Madison County.
Any other comments? All right, hearing none, this is the second reading of ordinance 2024-07, which allows for public comment. At this time, anybody here from the public want to speak on behalf of this ordinance? So, I'm going to have to say this now because this is a public record, Dana and Amy. David talked to him this morning, and I thought y'all were going to speak on behalf of this. I just need you to come to the microphone, Dana. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Magistrates, good morning. Ms. Mitchell, Judge Taylor, nice to meet you. I'm Dana Fole. I'm the General Counsel at EKU. We've had a chance to engage with the judge and with Wendy and Chris and Jill and a number here at Madison County. I have submitted, as you have before you, a letter from EKU as its official public comment regarding this ordinance. Certainly, we reiterated to the judge and his team yesterday, we want to be great partners. We want to continue to work together the way EKU and Madison County always have. That said, if you'll note in the letter, we have noted a number of areas of concern that we're going to continue to look at. We do agree that the timing of this allows us some time to do that, but we certainly didn't want to pursue anything without going on record with Madison County. And so you have our letter of comment. I'm happy to answer any questions. But we, in being good partners and being transparent, we didn't feel right about moving forward and questioning the legality as this applies to EKU or questioning the benchmarking across the state against other state entities and institutions which we presented to you. We wanted to make sure you were aware of our concerns before we pursued those.
All right, thank you for your public comment.
Thank you all.
All right. Anyone else have public comment? All right.
I'd just like to say one other thing, Judge. This, there is a process in here for appeal if people don't agree with everything that's in here, and I'm not just talking about the universities, I'm talking about the public in general. And I'm not saying that it's perfect. Let's just say that for the record. We may find out as we go along that there are things, as Brian said, that will have to be tweaked from it. And if they do, they do. In the case of that where the letter states things about the Attorney General and let them make an opinion on it, well, we have rescinded ordinances before, and we may have to do it again should that be the case. But I still believe it's a good document the way it's written, and I think we should go forward with it.
Anyone else? Yeah, I think it's more than fair, in my opinion, especially where it started and where it's come to. So we'll find out what happens from the Attorney General's office on the EKUs later, and we'll go from there.
Do we have any other letters that have been presented to us?
No, the feedback countywide, has been very good. When we first started this process, which, I guess for the record, we really started this process last year. We had our first joint government meeting in March, and then the cities passed resolutions. We had 2 work sessions. Then we had a presentation that we presented to the whole public, and along the way we planned that just so that we're government, so we're supposed to be very transparent. And so we did that, and we got a lot of feedback from our citizens, and from some of the feedback was great conversations, really respectful conversations that went from, hey, I don't know that this is quite right or quite fair. One gentleman, I always use this example, was getting ready to pay in a 911 fee almost as much as he was paying in property taxes, and that's not the intent of it whatsoever. And so it moved us to where it was really, really, really fair. Some of the directions we were going in with our education groups is we felt like that maybe it was a little unfair to base it off of square footage, and so that's where we landed with that, trying to be a lot more fair. And some of those still don't maybe think that's fair, and so we'll let whoever just decide that. And if we need to do something between now and time bills go out next year in the appeal process, then we will do that, so. Any questions? All right, if no more discussion, no more public comment. Yes, sir.
I'm Mike Park, I'm just a concerned citizen. I appreciate the work on the 911, and I'm not sure about what kind of ideas that EKU has, but EKU has a lot of students and a big campus, and just like me, they need to pay their fair share. So I don't know what that is, but I hope they'll be willing to pay their fair share, because they do have, a big population of students here, and I just hope they'll be willing to pay their fair share too.
Well, and we want to be good partners as well, Mike. So, I don't want to. You can you can look at the population of students, the number of employees on there. You can, but basically how this fee came with that is just based on their call volume. That's how it'll be determined next year. It's their call volume, and it's
the actual users.
Yes, it's pretty fair. I don't know how else.
It's pretty straightforward.
I don't know how else to make it any more fair than that.
I'm pretty simple in my thinking, and to me, it's the same as a water bill or electric bill. You pay for what you use, and that's the goal that we had. When you look at the amount of that people were going to have to pay per door was a little much, in our opinion, and so we felt like it should be geared towards who's using this service, and those are the people that need to pay for it. And this is not a new fee. And people were going to say this is something new that we have come up with. This is not new. This is just changing the fee structure in this ordinance to compensate for the lack of funds that were coming in. People have been paying this all along. Churches, families, universities, anybody that had landline was paying this. Plus, anybody that has a cell phone was paying a very small percentage of it. And ideally, this would be a program. The money would come in through cell phone usage, but we don't have that we don't have that ability. The legislature has given us a structure through statute that says this is how you charge for this fee, and that's not cell phones or any other thing. Ideally, that's what we would like to have done, because that seems fair, because those people are the ones that's using it, dialing it, that kind of thing. But I think really this should be a national program. Anywhere you go in the United States, you expect when you dial 911 that someone's going to answer the phone. I travel, I go to places. My 911 fee doesn't pay for when I go out of state. Somebody else's does. But ideally this would be a federal program, funded federally through cell phones and that kind of thing. But we're not there, and until we get there, and the legislature and the Congress sees that need, and this is where we're at.
All right. Any other public comment? Any other discussion? All right, we do have a motion and a second to approve the second reading of ordinance 2024-07. Call the roll.
Master Bucket,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Master Luckmuller,
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next is Resolution 2024-54, revised 2024 fiscal court meeting schedule. Jill.
Good morning. This is a resolution to approve and revise 2024 Madison County Fiscal Court meeting schedule. This resolution supersedes Resolution 2023-138. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court passed Resolution 2023-138 on November 28, 2023 to establish a 2024 Fiscal Court meeting schedule, which listed the location of the meeting as to be determined for the second half of the schedule. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to revise the attached 2024 Fiscal Court meeting schedule to include a location for the meetings beginning July 23rd, 2024 and continuing through December 17th, 2024. Now therefore be resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve the revised 2024 Fiscal Court meeting schedule to supersede Resolution 2023-138. And you'll see in the attachment that the second half of the year we will stay on the same schedule of alternating between the Berea council chambers and the city of Richmond commission chambers, as we've done for the first half of the year.
Motion approved resolution 2024-54, Judge.
Second.
All right, thank you all. Any questions? Everybody understands why we're doing this. Obviously, our courtroom, fiscal court, we thought courthouse may be done by then, but it wasn't, so
That's all right.
it's not gonna be. All right. Hearing no more discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes, thank you, Jill. Next, resolution 2024-55. This is Madison County Road Commissioner appointment. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the appointment of the Madison County Road Commissioner, and whereas the term for Jimmy Markham expired June 9th, 2024, and whereas he has proven his capability in serving as Madison County Road Commissioner and is willing to continue serving in this capacity, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has found Jimmy Markham is fit for the position as Madison County Road Commissioner, therefore, be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2024-55. Any discussion?
Hey, Judge, I just want to say we appreciate Mr. Markham and Jimmy Parsons' work there as the road commissioners for what they do for us.
Thanks, Tom. Any other comments? All right, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, resolution 2024-56, Southern Madison Water Board appointment. A resolution for the appointment of the Madison County Fiscal Court to the Southern Madison Water District Board, whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the appointment of Southern Madison Water District Board members, and whereas the term for Ron DeVere expired on June 9th, 2024, and whereas he has proven his capability in serving as a Southern Madison Water District Board member and is willing to continue serving in this capacity, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has found Ron DeVere is fit for the position as board member of the Southern Madison Water District Board. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute same on behalf of the county.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second to approve resolution 2024-56. Any discussion?
Just want to thank Ronnie for his continued service to the community, former jailer, and continues to serve in this capacity. Actually went to the board meeting last month and got to talk with those guys. Appreciate all that they do and the work that they're doing for Southern Madison.
Thank you, Brian. Anyone else? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is resolution 2024-57. This is Madison County Board of Adjustments appointment. A resolution for the appointment of the Madison County Fiscal Court to the Madison County Board of Adjustments, whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the appointment of Madison County Board of Adjustments members, and whereas the current term for Mike Mavity is set to expire June 20th, 2024, and whereas he has proven his capability in serving as a Board of Adjustments board member and is willing to continue serving in this capacity, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has found Mike Mavity is fit for the position as Board of Adjustments member. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
If he's willing to serve again, I'm willing to appoint him again.
That's funny. No, we appreciate their service as well. You know, sometimes it's not easy. They've gone through some pretty tough ones here the last several months. So, any other discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is resolution 2024-58, Madison County Board of Adjustments appointment. A resolution for the appointment of Madison County Fiscal Court to Madison County Board of Adjustments, whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the appointment of Madison County Board of Adjustments members, and whereas the current term for Kimberly Oles is set to expire June 20th, 2024, and whereas she has proven her capability in serving as a Board of Adjustments board member and is willing to continue serving in this capacity, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has found Kimberly Oles is fit for the position as Board of Adjustments member. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorize the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Motion approved resolution 2024-58, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Again, we just want to thank not just those two, but all of those members. You know, people think that that's just a easy board and they just sit up there and do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. There's a lot of work behind the scenes that goes into that. And they've had some tough ones here lately. Bert, thank you. We appreciate everybody's work on that.
And Kimberly hadn't actually served a full term. She actually replaced, somebody resigned, so she replaced them. So she feels that to the end of that individual's term. So now she's on her first full term, yeah. So,
She's willing to do it, that's pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah, she's a good addition too, so.
I think everybody on there has different backgrounds, so that makes it, you know, even better to have that many different backgrounds. And I think Kim's background is a lawyer. Yeah, so we're thankful for all these people that serve on these boards and participate. And again, it's a thankless job.
That Board of Adjustments is proven to be a very critical board in the county. You know, because they take up issues that don't go before the Planning Commission, and it's a very important position. And we have good people on those boards, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I've been fully aware of some of the criticism, but I will say, Bert and the Board of Adjustments, you know, the fact that they took their time on something that was new to them, and they tabled them, and they researched them, and they went and visited distilleries, and they went and talked to people, and they allowed public comment, some for, some against. I know there's a lot of people that are angry with them and me as well, but I think that they did an excellent job in the position that they were put in place to do, and a very difficult job, especially with some of the comments that are made about people. So I too think that they need to be applauded on the fact that they've done a job that they didn't have to do, that they wanted to be appointed to help out Madison County. So that's my comments, Judge.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? Hearing none, we do have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2024-58. Call the roll.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmiller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, Resolution 2024-59. This is the Alternative Health Solutions LLC Care Center Service Agreement, which is also known as, to us, as Blue Mine, right? Yeah. So, go ahead, Sarah. Good morning to you.
Good morning. A resolution to enter into a care center service agreement by and between Alternative Health Solutions LLC and Madison County Fiscal Court. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has agreed to offer its employees professional health care and wellness services at care centers operated at one or more locations. And whereas Alternative Health Solutions LLC has agreed to employ professional health care providers properly licensed in the state of Kentucky to operate and administer shared health care centers, or the Care Center, operated from time to time in the states of Kentucky and Indiana for eligible employees, spouses, and dependents of Madison County Fiscal Court. And whereas Madison County Fiscal Court has been pleased with the services offered by Alternative Health Solutions LLC, DBA Blue Mine Clinic, and wishes to renew the Care Center Service Agreement to become effective July 1st, 2024, which is attached here to this resolution. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to negotiate and execute contracts on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Sarah. Members of the court, you've heard Resolution 2024-59. What's the pleasure of the court?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2024-59. Any discussion?
I had some good discussions yesterday with Jill, Judge, about some of the fee structure in there, and some questions about, you know, how that works, and, you know, what's a good price for us, what's not a good price for us, and how they're able to schedule events and those type of things. And based on those comments and discussions I had with her, I think it's a pretty good contract.
Yep. Thanks.
And you know me, I'm critical of contracts.
Yeah. I call you our Eagle Eye Beagle. Get that eye on it.
So do they report, does the Blue Mine report to us how often employees use that?
They do.
I've heard nothing but good. I mean, I haven't used it myself. Some of my family has, and they're very positive in what they've said. And I just encourage employees to utilize this tool. It's nice to be able to get into an appointment and not have to wait for months and months as you do in all the other healthcare systems. So
Man, it's come a long way, Brian, in the last, probably 3 years, I guess. Yeah. I mean, we made a push for encouraging, educating our employees truly the benefit. And, we had a meeting with them just a couple weeks ago. They gave us our stats. I can't remember what the usage, is. They gave us a percentage that day. Jill, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just so people hear it.
We were at 53% utilization through the first calendar quarter of 2024, and we ended the year at only 47, I believe it was, in 2023. So during those first 3 months, the utilization's already increased that much, and I think that they want us to be at 50% utilization, which is, what you'll see in there. And Tom and I talked about this yesterday. The PEPM is per employee per month, and that's what we pay based on. And so that is how that utilization is categorized.
So, and there's a metric there too, Jill, that says if we're under a certain percentage, that it's not beneficial to the county, right? I mean, you want to hit these targets to where it's financially beneficial. Because if employees aren't using it, then they're going to instant care, or they're going to emergency room, which Jill knows a lot about emergency room cost, the visits are, right?
Yes, I do.
Because of your
Not
prior.
because I'm a frequent
Yeah,
flyer.
no. I should have said
Please
that
put that
wrong.
on
I'm
the
sorry.
record.
I said that wrong. Because she used to work for Baptist Health, right? That was her career for many years. So.
Yes, I'm not a frequent flyer.
Yeah.
If Laura King is watching, please, I'm not a frequent flyer.
Yeah.
I just think it's a great opportunity and a great program for our employees to have that. And every organization is pushing preventative, to make sure that people are taking stock in their own health care, not just relying on a tragedy or a medical event or a sickness, disease, whatever, before they go and go to a doctor. But to be more preventative, and that's the big push, because healthcare cost is outrageous, and all of us see that. And being self-insured, the county, it's big. So we do encourage employees to make sure they utilize it.
And I think too, Brian, the other part of this, man, it's the employee world's getting so competitive. And so we have to offer these little things because, counties and government doesn't have the funds where we can just increase wages, right? And so I think any of those little things that we can think outside the box on to add is just a little addition that helps us, but also helps our employees. I mean, I think it's a good recruiting tool too.
I agree.
I'd just like to add one more thing, Judge. There are, in this contract, they have the ability to schedule events for the employees that, allow for them to check the height, weight, body mass, blood pressure, blood sugar screening, cholesterol screening. But one of the key elements to that event, should they decide to schedule one, as Jill and I talked about yesterday, is that employees come, is that they're involved in that, because we pay a set fee for that per this contract, whether nobody shows up or not.
Right.
So it's, it's to their benefit to come, and when they have those, if they have them, we have to schedule that through the county, but it's their employees' benefits to come and do this.
All right. Good conversation. Appreciate that. Anyone else? We do have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2024-59. Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Lockmiller,
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Viking.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Hey, was that guy here for? Oh no, he's got a phone call. I thought he was here with Blue Mine. I'm like, I didn't give him the opportunity to say anything.
He's here from the union.
Huh?
He's a union rep.
Oh, okay. All right. Next, resolution 2024-60. This is to adopt security alert policy.
Yes,
Jill.
this is a resolution to adopt a security alert policy, whereas the Madison County government works continuously to maintain a safe environment for its employees, tenants, and visitors. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to adopt a security alert policy. And whereas this policy provides guidance to those who may be involved in an emergency situation and describes what to expect from responding law enforcement officials in such an event. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive and or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Jill. Members of the court, you've heard resolution 2024-60. What's the pleasure of the court?
Make motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Hey, the only thing I want to say about Judge is whoever the author of this document was, thank you. There's a lot of common sense things that we've been doing in the past anyway, but we now have a policy to follow for that. So,
Wish I could take the credit, Tom.
there
Wish
you
I
go.
could take the credit. Yeah.
Well, since it's not you, maybe it was me.
You know who it was.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Buckin.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you, Jill. Appreciate your hard work and dedication. Next, Resolution 2024-61, discontinuance of Red Lick Watershed Conservancy District Board.
You all know I'm gonna struggle with that word now. A resolution to approve the discontinuance of the Red Lick Watershed Conservancy District Board. Whereas pursuant on House Bill 130, the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to approve the discontinuance of the Red Lick Watershed Conservancy District Board. And whereas at the request of the Madison County Soil and Water Conservation District Board, Madison County Fiscal Court supports the Madison County Soil and Water Conservation District Board, the Estill County Soil and Water Conservation District Board, and the Jackson County Soil and Water Conservation District Board to jointly assume all of the former Red Lick Watershed Conservancy Board's rights and responsibility as established in KRS 262.700 all the way until 262.795. And whereas all required notices and procedures outlined in House Bill 130 have taken place, now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Appreciate it, Jill. Thank you. Members of the court, you've heard Resolution 2024-61. Can I get a motion and a second to approve, please?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve? Any discussion?
Just want to say, Judge, again, based on our conversations yesterday, and there are a lot of hoops and things that have to be done in here according to House Bill 130, and based on those things being taken care of, it's a good document. We're going to go along with that.
Yeah. And I asked Mike, I told him, I hope it didn't waste his time, but I asked Mike Parks here today because he's our chairman of the Soil Water Conservation Board here in Madison County. Served for a long time. As you know, that's an elected position in Kentucky, in Madison County. So he gets elected like we do every 4 years. But it's more of a volunteer job than anything. But obviously Mike got deep roots here in Madison County and serves us well in that position. But he can give you all some history. Tom, I think I talked to you yesterday on this, and I misspoke. So some of those structures that we were talking about, they are part of this watershed, but they're managed and maintained by Berea City and Berea College because they get water from, that's Berea Municipal's water source, so they maintain those. The only two that the Red Lick Watershed Board would have maintained would have been the one at Pilot Knob and the one down at Floyd's Branch. And so those are the ones that once all this goes through its process, the Soil Conservation District will actually sort of be the governing authority.
Okay.
And if y'all have questions on the watershed right now, it'd be a great time to ask.
So you all have been managing this in the past, I assume, because the Red Lick Water Board's not been able to meet and.
No, we haven't been managing it because we didn't have any authority to
Okay,
manage
so
it.
you haven't been able to.
We had to
but now
go,
you
this
can.
last session, we went to Frankfurt and worked with several people to get legislation changed to where that there was a way to discontinue the board. Because previously, the only way that it could be discontinued, if they voted to discontinue it, we could not get a quorum of members. It started back in COVID when they had a hard time meeting, and then several of them got old, passed away, and we couldn't get anybody to serve. And volunteerism in America is slowly creeping away. People don't want to volunteer to do anything anymore. So we could not, Jackson County, Estill combined, we could not get a board.
And it was 11-member board.
Yeah, so we couldn't get a board seated to vote to discontinue it. So there was no way, and we've been under the legislature or the cabinet for environmental. They've been pressuring us to do something, but we had no way to do anything because Madison County legally didn't have any right to do anything because we wasn't over it. It was still the Red Lake Board that didn't meet. So we had to get legislation changed to where there's an avenue for us to legally take over. And we've got that legislation passed, and now Estill and Jackson are going to have to meet, and they're going to have to vote. And then after everyone votes, then we will be able to take over and we'll actually get started on doing some things that they've been wanting us to do for a year and a half.
Hey, Mike, is we, the Madison County Soil Conservation District?
Yeah, we're gonna be designate to take care of it.
And
Estill
so-
and Jackson will still kind of be overseeing us,
Yeah.
and they'll have to approve our budget and plan to work on all that. But we're gonna be administrating and taking care of the structures down there.
Yeah, the old statute, I mean, the only thing that was killing us was the part that said that they had to dissolve themselves. If they did dissolve themselves, it would have reverted to the Soil Water Conservation Board. And then if they didn't exist, it would have come to us. But we couldn't get it there because the law wouldn't allow. So that's what this change does.
Yeah.
And in the interim, while we were waiting, before this legislation was passed, we reached out to the Attorney General's office to get an opinion so we could, as a county, say we're trying to be proactive here. We just don't have a mechanism to do anything about it. So that was the action we took and prior to this being passed to allow this action.
So that Red Lake Watershed Board, it was a combination of folks from Madison, Estill, and
Yes.
Jackson. It's not
Yeah.
just Madison.
All three counties have members on there.
We had 5. It was 5, 3, and 3, wasn't it? I think Madison County had 5, Jackson had 3, and Estill had 3, and that's just because the structures are in Madison County, I think, is why.
Now, the main purpose of those structures is flood control, isn't that correct?
Yes, but City of Brea enhanced those dams for water. They added to theirs a little bit, and because they use it for municipal water, so Brea gets a big benefit out of the flood prediction and the water.
But there are headaches associated with maintaining them dams.
Yes, there is. People think it's a good idea to run four-wheelers up and down the dams.
Yeah.
And, it's way out in the county. So by the time we call the sheriff gets down there at Red Lick, well, they're long gone. So, it's hard to police that. And, that's the issue we have to constantly work on because they put ruts on the dam and, it's kind of hard to regulate that, but we're trying to come up with some different measures. So, and we appreciate the sheriff's department going down there because every now and then they do catch some people and tell them to stop doing that. But,
and I'm going to say too, the other hard part with this is the overwhelming majority of people that live in that Red Lick area, they don't know Red Lick without these structures. They don't know it back in the 60s. I think Jimmy did his research is back when all that was put in and the flooding. So a lot of those members that were the board, they would have remembered the flooding and how important those structures are. And so I think a lot of the new folks that live down there don't understand it, and so they don't necessarily think it's that important.
After 50 years, a lot of people pass away, and they don't remember people drowning or property damage because it's never happened in their lifetime. So we don't need that board. It's not very useful because we don't have any flooding. If you didn't have the structures, you would have flooding.
Yeah. And of course, that's why the folks that live in that area will continue to pay that fee, to be able to keep those structures maintained. Yeah.
Now, is that fee, Mike, that's collected by those people in that district, is it earmarked just for those structures?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it will the money that they've been paying all this time will be used for
it stays
those
in the Red Lick Conservancy District.
Okay, that's good.
And it's a separate fund too. It won't be commingled with soil water conservation. It will have its own budget and everything.
Yeah, I remember when I ran, I had questions about Red Lake Watershed that I didn't even know existed. And it was from people in Jackson County, people in Jackson, Estill, everybody's paying this.
Yep.
And they don't understand why they're paying a fee for a structure on Red Lick. They don't understand that that water runs to
Yeah.
Estill and Jack.
Watershed is a big thing.
It is.
You know, and it all goes somewhere.
Yeah.
And when it comes downstream, it affects people downstream, sometimes more than the people up on the hill.
Yeah.
But they're the cause of part of that.
And most people in Jackson County are up on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate y'all serving and taking care of that big headache.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, we got a good group right there. Yeah, we're very blessed to have them, lucky to have them. Any other questions, comments? And one thing too is that this will go in front of the Estill County Fiscal Court and the Jackson County Fiscal Court as well. I know it talks about their watershed boards in those counties, but it also goes to the fiscal court. It's in those counties as well, so just like it came to us. All right, call the roll.
Master Buckin,
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. All right, thank you. Mike, appreciate you coming down too. All right, next is personnel. Ryan, good morning again.
Morning. I bring before the court, the approval of the personnel changes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Have a motion and a second to approve personnel changes. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Buckin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Employee spotlight, Ryan.
Yes. This court session's employee spotlight is Morris Sloan. He works in our IT department. What it states about Morris is Morris excels in developing programs that significantly enhance the county's daily operations. He collaborates extensively with the colleagues to create trust, refine, and perfect processes before the final product is released. His hard work and dedication are deeply appreciated by the entire team. And Morris has been with us since 2019.
Oh, Momo. It's good. Yeah. No, Mo's a great addition to our county. Yeah. Yeah, our county team. He's awesome. He's done a lot of good stuff. I don't want to brag on him too much, though. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Next, judge's report. Just got a few announcements. We've got a lot going on this summer in our community, and so I want to make sure that people are aware of the things that are going on. I want to thank everyone, Scott, Chief. Don't want to leave anybody out. That's why I hate naming things, but they were all at the River Sweep this past Saturday. I had a prior engagement, couldn't make it, but I appreciate Jill. Took her, I think, her kids down. Chief, you took your son, didn't you? So we had some of our firefighters down there. I think some of Richmond Fire Department came down and participated and brought their boat down. And so we really appreciate all those that volunteered for the Kentucky River Sweep this past Saturday. The final CSEP decon exercise will be on Tuesday, June 11th. That's today. June 11th at 4 o'clock today at Church on the Rock in Berea. Again, that's the final CSEP decon exercise. And then the final community-wide CSEP exercise will be tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m. The Pack-A-Ball will be this Saturday, June 15th at EKU Center for the Arts. If you're interested in going, it's not too late. You can visit bidpal.net/PACA24 to purchase your tickets. Race Rise is hosting a Juneteenth 2024 Freedom 5K on Saturday, June 15th. This coming Saturday at 8 a.m. at Whitehall State Historic Site. You can visit www.racerise.com to register. Dominion Senior Living is hosting the Longest Day. It's an Alzheimer's Association community cookout on Friday, June 21st from 12 to 2 p.m. That's out on 200 Meridian Way, out across from the Richmond Center in Heritage Place subdivision. It's the Honor Walk will begin at 1:30 p.m. And then Madison County Government and its related offices will be closed on Wednesday, June 19th for the Juneteenth holiday. Offices will reopen on Thursday, June 20th at 8 a.m. Comments from magistrates?
No, sir, I don't. I'm
don't
just
have-
happy to be here.
Glad you're here, buddy.
Yeah.
Billy Ray?
Union City Volunteer Fire Department Ruritan Club had a nice auction this past Saturday, and once again, those guys that volunteer their time to raise funds to support their local fire department, I just so much appreciate the work they do, and the Waco Volunteer Fire Department's gonna be having sponsoring a truck pull at the fairgrounds on, June the 21st. And, there again, these guys out working, trying to raise funds to support their fire department, and I just so much appreciate what they're doing. And, we just need to support them as a community. That's it.
Thanks, Billy Ray. Tom?
Hey, Judge, yeah, just a couple things. I want to thank Brandon over at the state. We've had a couple of right-of-way issues that where the vegetation just grown up, and we've made phone calls, and that's been taken care of. But one of the things I really want to say about that is we appreciate him. But also want to appreciate Master Combs, because I got a call last week from a fellow saying, you know, that the right-of-way was blocked, and it was in Brian's area. And so, you know, he calls Brandon. Brandon comes out the next day, and Brandon calls back, it's done. I didn't expect to hear anything back from that, first of all, but I sure didn't expect it to be the next day. So those things that we cooperate on, we help each other back and forth all the time, and I don't think the public knows how well that we do work together. Scott's not here today, but I missed him at the last court. I wanted to thank him for the pond over in Idlewild that we got cleared out over there. You know, I went by and I got several phone calls from the residents over there, and one person in particular where the pond was flooding his yard. You know, I go out and look at it, and sure enough, man, he's got a lake in his yard, but Scott and them got the boat out, and we got an employee actually injured over there. I'm not sure, I haven't heard any things about
You're good.
Is he okay? But I do appreciate them going out and responding. You know, the weather was just so bad that week altogether, but they got that taken care of, and I certainly appreciate that. If anyone needs me, Judge, they can reach me at 200-9765.
Thanks, Tom. Brian?
Judge, I don't have a lot. I just appreciate all of the civic groups and, you know, people that do get out and work. There's plenty of things to do. If you don't have anything to do in Madison County, just look around. There's opportunities to serve and to make our community a better community. I do thank all those that came out to the river sweep. I think the river did most of the work, but you never know when you get down there what you're going to find. So we do thank the public for coming out, and we're going to work on ways to better communicate that. And so just keep that in mind. We're going to try to make that a bigger event and try to communicate it a little bit better. But Judge, I'm just glad to be here.
Glad you're here, buddy. Kenny? Gang?
Got everything? No, sir.
Sheriff? You good? Counselor? You good? All right. Comments from department heads. Any department heads need to? Chief?
I think you said that tonight was our community exercise, and you just named one site. We're actually doing two sites tonight. We're
Okay.
having one at First Baptist Church and one at Church on the Rock, and I just want citizens to know that in case they see the.
Is that First Baptist on the Eastern Bypass, EKU Bypass?
Yes, sir. And that'll be Richmond and Madison County, and Madison County EMS at that site. Then the Church on the Rock will have Berea, Madison County Fire, Garrett County EMS, Rockcastle Fire. We're doing a mutual aid with surrounding counties, and they'll be coming in to help participate in this one this year.
That's great. Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know on the update.
Hey, Chief, if you don't mind, maybe we get through June, get into the first fiscal year. Would you care to maybe come and present to the fiscal court? It reminded me when Billy Rose makes some comments about the volunteer fire departments. Maybe just talk about the importance of those, the run calls. Just maybe give us a yearly update on the previous fiscal year.
Yep, we can.
Maybe get the CAD calls of, you know, how much that they respond and that kind of thing.
Yep.
For each
All right.
volunteer. Yep.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Any other department heads? All right.
Hey,
Here.
just one other comment. Just want to say we appreciate Amy and Dana coming today. Good to see you all again.
Comments from the audience, and we'll start with audience comments, and then we'll go to Facebook. So no audience comments today. All right. Do we have any Facebook? No. All right. Pay the claims and approve the transfers. I need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Luckmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes, our next meeting is June 25th, 2024. That'll be back in Richmond, at Richmond City Hall at 9:30 a.m. Again, that'll be June 25th, 2024, back in Richmond. I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Luckmuller?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thank you all. Appreciate everybody being here.